Okay, so we're in the reloading room, and we did not plan on making a video, but there is some cool stuff here, stuff I've never saw before, and we just decided, hey, we got to fire up this camera and do a little video here. And actually, this little video may turn into a long video because it's going to be everything 358 Ultra Mag Alaska. And there's already been some of that in another video somewhere, but the gun is finished. And the man who owns the gun is flying from Indianapolis, Indiana to Spokane. This is Sunday. I have to go up there and get him tomorrow. That's 120 miles from Lewiston to Spokane. I got to go up and get him at the airport tomorrow. He's going to come down here, and he's going to be here for what, Vicki? 4 days approximately?
Correct.
He's going to be here for 4 days. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be turning 375 Remington Ultra Mag brass into 358 Ultra Mag Alaskan cartridges. We're going to blow them out at the range. We're going to blow them out with some other bullet. The bullet he does not intend to shoot. Some other random bullet, a cheaper bullet. And then we are going to load them back, and we are going to load them with, I just took these out of a box. I've never saw these before. So these are, here, show them. These are hammer bullets. And I've been hearing good things about these bullets. This place is out of Kalispell, Montana. Hammer bullets. This man that owns this gun, he says these things shoot like crazy. And they're solid copper monolithic bullets. But why I decided to make this is, so here, these are 254s right there. And you're going to be seeing us shoot them. But this is why. As soon as I saw these, I'm like, oh, cool, we got to make a video. I didn't even know that this company made a plastic or polymer tip solid copper, monolithic. I mean, these are cool bullets. Look at that thing. That is a 255 grain bullet. Well, of course, this is conjecture because we've never fired this yet, obviously. But he's saying these things are going to be going like over 3,000 feet a second. So can you imagine a plastic tip, solid copper, 255 grain, 358 bullet going 3,000 feet a second? This is going to be awesome. These are, I can't see without my glasses. These are 259 grain bullets, and I believe the ones that are up at the shop are 275 grain bullets, I believe. So this is going to be cool. So I wanted to show you that. By the way, all this stuff has been showing up. The customer mailed all this stuff here, so he didn't have to bring it with him on a plane. So I'm going to open this great big box here, and this thing is heavy, and I'm going to see what's in here, and I'm sure we'll probably edit this. So Vicki, you can film it, but once I get it open. Okay, holy cow.
It's like Christmas.
Holy cow. I mean, there's some cool stuff. So look at this. This is 375 RUM ADG brass Atlas. More, and it says prepped.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yes, because I thought I was going to have to sit here and do brass work. Look at this. More. Here, these are 215 grain hammer bullets. Look at this. Oh my gosh. 275 grain hammer bullets. What the heck? Oh, this is what I believe we're going to blow out the brass with. Here, show them this. 35 caliber, 358. These are 250 grain, I don't know, spiral, blah, 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 interlock bullets. I think he said this is what...
Okay, let me see.
This is what we're going to blow the brass out with because it's less expensive. Well, one thing I will say, these hammer bullets are almost $2 a piece. $2 a piece per bullet. So it's not like you just want to go shooting them for the fun of it. Look at this. 358, 200 grain. That's tip triple shocks. Barnes bullets. I knew there was going to be cool stuff in here. This fella, this man that's coming, you know, it's not like, I'm definitely not a social person. And it's not like I get along with a whole bunch of people, right? Just because of my nature. But this guy, since this is the second gun that he has got off of us, right?
Yes.
This guy, if anything, he is more obsessive compulsive than I am. I mean, he does everything to the highest degree possible. So that's one of the reasons why he's flying here. I think we're going to really get along, and I think we're going to make some really cool videos. I hope that this gun, which is laying on the ground behind me, I hope it shoots one hole. Look at this. This is a K.M. neck turner. And the reason this is here is because obviously I have many, many different neck turners, mostly Sinclair, but I don't have anything for 358. I don't have expander mandrels. I don't have dies. I don't have anything. So he sent it all. Oh my gosh, look at this. Look at this. 35, 338 Ultra Mag. So this is C&H tool and die. I know what this is. I've never even used these. Here, oh man, look at that. Holy cow, that's nice. Look at the size of these expanders. Holy cow, that's a dedicated expander. And of course that's for pushing them up, but this is also for neck turning. Look at this. I knew there was going to be cool stuff in here. Vicky's like, why do you have to get the camera out? That's so much trouble. Yes, sir. She's like, you don't need to do that.
I didn't say that.
I'm like, there's going to be cool stuff in there.
I didn't say it like that.
Yes, you did. I don't like filming. Full-length die set, 375 Rem Ultra Mag. You're probably going to be using that to seat bullets, I would assume. Let's see what's in here. Oh, brand new. Oh, look at this. Bullet comparators, brushes. I mean, this is why I like this guy. Okay? I mean, I really like this guy. No joke. I mean, look at this.
Look how happy you are.
Yes, exactly. This is the way it should be. I mean, people should do things to this level. Look at this. A funnel. Because I don't have look at that. I don't have 358. Huh. Cool. And I have a whole bunch of these. If you guys don't know what these are Saturn Custom. But it's caliber specific, right? This is 30 caliber. I have a whole bunch of them. But I don't have 358. So, good thinking on his part there. What is this? Look at this. More dies. 35 300 WSM. I wonder which step of the operation. Look at this. What the heck is that? That is the top, I would say, of a bullet puller. There must be a bullet puller in here. Oh, right here, look. Look. Now again, guys, I'm not joking. When I say I really like this guy, so he's thinking that far ahead. What if we have to pull bullets? And so, here's the parts to pull bullets. I mean, that's being very conscientious right there. This is going to be a cool project. It really is. Initially, when he's like, hey, you want to build a 358 Ultra Mag Alaskan? I'm like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Because it's any time that you switch to a completely new cartridge, even if it's a mainstream cartridge, not a Wildcat, there's a lot of stuff that you need that people don't think about. I mean, stuff like funnels and bullet pullers and bullet seaters, and to switch to a totally new cartridge, from my side of it, for a reamer, for headspace gauge, for everything, to switch to a whole new cartridge. So you're just starting on a new cartridge. It can be thousands of dollars worth of stuff. And that's why a lot of times, no, I really don't want to. Well, this guy's like, he was so into it and so passionate about it. He's like, I'll get everything. You don't need to do nothing. Just build me the gun. And I'm like, okay, well, I got to tell you, it's actually been so far a really good experience. Look at this. Look at this. Designed, that's his name. Designed for him. 358 Ultra Mag custom die set. Let's look and see what that looks like. Oh, man. Look at this. Holy cow, this is nice stuff. Look at that bullet seeder. Holy cow. Well, this is cool. This is really, really, really cool stuff. What else? Nothing. Like that isn't enough. Well, I don't know. I thought I was about to show you, I was going to do brass prep, but I'm going to get in these. We'll stop the camera for a minute. I'm going to get in these boxes and see if the flash holes have been uniformed, the primer pockets have been uniformed. If all that work is done, that's great, because he saved me a ton of time. And we'll let you know, but this is going to be a series because we're going to show all this and then we're going to go out and shoot it. See you.
All right. I wanted to show all of this really cool stuff again that the customer sent for their 358 Ultra Mag Alaskan. Look at all this cool stuff. Scott did just talk to the customer, and these were flash holes and the primer pockets were done, but unfortunately the flash holes Scott's going to have to redo because the tool that the customer had didn't cut deep enough, so they need to be redone. But other than that, look at all this cool stuff. So we're ready. It's like Christmas.
Okay, so as Vicki said, I believe she said off camera, or when she was running the camera, we called the guy, and yes, I could tell by looking at these that he had uniformed all the primer pockets. That's pretty obvious. But when I looked inside them, and this is the way I do it, I got a pretty bright light right here, and this is black right here, and I hold this out at about arm's length, and I look down through the case, and you can see the flash hole in there very well at that distance. And I could see it was scratched up just a little wee bit, but it didn't look like they were uniform to me. And so we called him and he said, yeah, I did it. And I said, well, it doesn't look like they're done. And so I'm going to do one here and I'm going to show you. I already did one just to see them. No, they weren't done. So this is my Sinclair uniforming tool. And obviously I'm running an electric drill. And you stick it down in there, and you have to feel it. Feel it go through, and sometimes it's hard, and of course I'm on camera. There, it went through now, okay? And if you could see, which you can't, you could see the tip of that sticking through the flash hole. Now, you get hold of this pretty hard, and you put a serious amount of pressure on this, okay? And you run that up there. Now, I just want you to see what comes out. Okay, so a lot of guys think they're doing flash holes, and that's not really done yet. Okay, there's a little wee bit more. Normally I put on a latex glove when I do this because you have to get hold of the brass. And I'm putting a lot of pressure down on that. A little bit more. And so I would call that done. And if you could see in there now it looks like a bright gold copper colored funnel. I mean, it looks like you can see the angle on it. And see, this tool can only go so deep. You see, this is the part that goes through the flash hole itself, and then that's the part that does the cutting. And you can see there's an angle on it. It looks very much here. It looks very much like that. That's just about what it looks like. And then this part of it stops it from going too deep. In other words, you can only cut till the cutter won't go any deeper. And that's what I do. I take and I put, like I said, you put quite a bit of pressure here. That's one. I'll do one more. I'll do one more to show you what come out of there. And that's ones that were supposedly done. And this fella is a knowledgeable hand loader. Most people don't realize how much pressure it takes to push that through there and cut that, especially with good quality brass. The harder the brass is, the harder it is to cut. I remember years ago, I was doing RWS brass, which if you've never saw, I don't know where. I have some here still. I was doing RWS brass. like steel, like a piece of steel. When you tap those cases together, they sounded different than regular brass. And oh my gosh, they lasted forever. But this, look, more yet. So that's the brass. That's what comes out of just 2 of them. So by the time I get 50 of them done here, there's going to be a big dang pile of brass there. So anyways, uniforming flash holes is important, and do it right. All right, so that is the pile of chips from 50 pieces of brass. I don't know, how long did that take me? About an hour, maybe? 45 minutes? It took 45 minutes for me to do those. This is very hard brass, and putting on a rubber glove really helps because you can grab hold of it. And yes, I remember someone made a tool to grab hold of brass while you're doing all these other operations, but I can't remember what the name of that tool is, and I don't have one, but it would be handy to have something to get hold of that because it's a lot of pressure, and that's one of the things that I think guys have such a hard problem. Once you get that in there, they're not realizing how much pressure I'm putting on this. I mean, yes, I'm old, but I can still incline bench press. I can bench press, 135 for 20 reps?
Yeah.
Or more, maybe even 21 or 22 reps. I don't do heavy anymore, so 135 for reps, incline. So when I'm putting pressure on this, I mean, it's a pretty serious amount of pressure, especially with hard brass, to get that to cut. And you feel it, by the way. You're cutting, and then it just starts spinning free, and it's like, that tells you you're done. So anyways, that's what the pile of brass looks like, just from 50. I think I'm going to do 25 more, and then we'll have the brass we need for this project. And so we may put all this up in pieces on YouTube. I don't know yet. We'll have to see how long they are, and we don't want to make like a 3-hour long video. So we might just put this up. All right, see you guys later. Oh. All right, so if you want to see the visual manifestation of obsessive compulsive disorder, I knew we only needed 50. It's like, I know that, but I can't stop. So I did 50, 60, 70, 80, 84. That's all I have. There's stuff that he did to those that won't be appropriate. So I did 84, and then I went back and redid the primer pockets in these also. So we're going to have 84 empty cases. And I was sitting here doing that. It occurred to me, if you want to know just how much of this I really do and how important that I think uniforming primer pockets, uniforming flash holes really is. This is the tool I was just using. This is the three that I've wore out probably in the last 10 years. Do you have any idea what it takes to wear these out? I bet you can get 5,000 cases out of one of these tools.
Right.
So I've literally, and that's not my whole life. That's, like I said, that's probably about the last 10 years. And what happens is they just get dull. It's a high-speed steel cutter, right? But you're only cutting brass. But like anything, no matter how hard it is, how good it is, eventually they wear out, they get dull, and then you're really, that's partly how you can tell when they're getting dull. When you're putting an enormous amount of force down on them and they're not cutting anymore, well, just like a knife, then they're dull. So we are going to have 84 cases to load, and I think this whole project, the gun turned out excellent, by the way, and shooting these hammer bullets, I think this is going to be cool. So I think we're going to stop, and we're going to put this up as one video, and then probably the next video will be once the customer gets here from Indianapolis. All right.